obviously. The Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast coming to you live on Double C TV, featuring Darren.
Oh God, we're doomed.
And Double C. Wrestling gets you laid. Gotcha. As they take on 5 hours of WWE programming.
I'm pretty sure he fudged it just while he was doing the Hurricane Run. Like, oh God, I don't know how to do this correctly.
Yep. This is episode number 4 of at least the live 4. Live 4, yes. 4th episode doing live. And I am doing it alone. Again, sorry for the delay. Not doing it yesterday, but I was kind of under the weather. Still am, but hey, you know what? We got a show to do. And we got a Smackdown. We got another Raw Smackdown from the 22nd. And wait, is it from the 22nd? No, that's not from the... Yeah, it is from the 22nd. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, okay, so Smackdown from the 22nd and Monday Night Raw from the 25th. I have it written down the 23rd, but it was from the 25th. Because that was Monday. Anyways, so yeah. We are going through the whole Road to WrestleMania thing, and things are starting to heat up. This is probably one of the biggest set of shows of the year. But hey. Okay, so starting with SmackDown. The show starts off with Miz TV, and we're all happy to see The Miz and Miz TV. No, we're not. With his guests, Randy Orton and the Sheamus. And they basically go, who's going to be your partner to take on the Shield at WrestleMania? Well, we know who's going to be. We already know who's the third man. It's going to be the Big Show. They choose the Big Show, and then he comes out. And then they got to work together to make it happen, essentially. So, yeah, it's like, I don't trust you, and you don't trust me, but we gotta work together, because we gotta beat the Shield. And then Booker T interrupts. He goes, let's see how well you work together in a 6-man tag later tonight. Everyone goes, okay. First match of the night, Mark Henry versus Zack Ryder in a no-offense squash match. And so Ryder is pretty much on his way out at this point. Ryback, after the match, Ryback confronts Mark Henry and knocks down Mark Henry. And that's like one of those upsmanship sort of things. Excuse me. Next up, we go backstage with Booker T and Teddy Long. They are not very, how do you say? I don't know. They're not happy because Teddy Long decided to do something that Booker T didn't want. And so, yeah. Trouble in Paradise. Next up, we have a Hall of Fame induction of the Booker T. We know that already. Second match of the night, Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. In a match where I didn't really care much about. Kofi Kingston pretty much cross-bodies to the Big E Langston. And Dolph Ziggler hits the Famouser outside. It's actually being called the Famouser now, which I'm happy with. Zigzag, Dolph wins. Okay. The Raw video. We have the urn juggling thing again. Next up, we go backstage with Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show. And apparently, Randy Orton is the voice of reason out of this entire thing. Which makes everyone question, like, what, really? The guy who has anger issues and is hyper-aggressive about everything is the voice of reason. Gotcha. Next up, another Raw video of the ankle snap for Ricardo Rodriguez. Third match of the night, Jack Swagger versus Chris Jericho. This is a return match from the previous Smackdown. It was actually the match of the night. This match didn't really have much to it because Fandango interrupts and hits a Pele kick onto Chris Jericho. Swagger wins because the ref didn't see this. And afterwards, Fandango hits a leg drop off the top rope. So at least we know he has a little bit of knowledge or something like that. I don't know. Excuse me. I apologize for that. Next up, we have Big Show backstage. He says, "We need to get on the same page." And that's it. After that, we have another Rock Cena promo. After that, the match number 4, the Rhodes Scholars versus Brodus Clay and Tensai, who is now to be referred to as Sweet Tea. Apparently. Damien Sandow has a gift for the WWE Universe, and they brings out the Bella Twins, which everyone boos, and because they don't want to see the Bellas anymore, even with their fancy new boob job. Let's see. Things break down because they do, so it's a no contest. Fairly quickly. Backstage, we have Randy Orton and Sheamus. And then Sheamus goes, "It'll work, trust me." I forgot to mention on the Big Show interview, Big Show also said, "Trust me." So there's a lot of trust being thrown around here. Let's see. Match number 5, Antonio Cesaro versus The Miz, where Cesaro taps. And The Miz, who was feuding with Cesaro, should get a U.S. title shot, but instead he's getting a Intercontinental title shot instead. We'll get to more about that later. And then we have another call for the call, promo call, movie. Stupid movie. Raw video, Triple H and Lesnar. There's a lot of these Raw videos, and there's going to be a lot of promos, especially next week. Next week is going to have a ton. Because we're almost at the point with WrestleMania. It's, let's see, a week and a half away. So, we're almost there. Main event time. We got Randy Orton, Sheamus, Big Show versus, you guessed it, the 3-man band in a match that I decided to pretty much fast forward because I thought it was very, very lame. It's one of those, oh no, well, don't break that man. Don't break that man. Oh, shoot. So, let's see. Faces win over the 3-man band. Shield come out and confront the 3 group guys, and the Faces go, "Ah!" And the Shield goes, "Ah!" And then they leave. That was Smackdown. Oh, excuse me again. Riveting entertainment. So, let's go on with Monday Night Raw. And the show starts out with CM Punk. He's at the ring and he says that he's the only one that matters. And how he keeps on going on against The Undertaker. And The Undertaker, for the first time in his career, he wants something. He wants to earn. And then he's pretty much begging for The Undertaker to attack him, which lights go out. Undertaker does. Punk and Heyman's there too, run away, and they still have the urn in their possession, so yeah. Match number 1, Fandango versus Chris Jericho. Oh wait, that's not the match that was supposed to happen. Apparently, Fandango was going to face someone else. So Jericho is like, I'm going to get you, Fandango. But we go to the real first match of the night. Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler. In a match where Jericho wins with the Lion Tamer. Not the Walls of Jericho, it's the actual Lion Tamer this time. Which is, as always, a treat to see about that. After the match, Big E attacks Jericho, and everyone's all like, yeah, we beat him, and then Fandango comes back, and he attacks again. He does his big leg drop for the top rope. And then we go backstage with Sheamus. And then he's supposed to give an interview where Shield attacks, or Randy Orton comes to help. He gets beat up. And then Big Show, he assists as well. And then they finally overcome the odds. Like, they haven't been saying that enough already. Match number 2, Mark Henry versus the Usos. This is one of those one-upsmanship matches where it's like, oh, I got the bigger dick, oh, I got the bigger dick, and all that stuff. So, of course, Mark Henry wins, and he attacks after the matchup, showing his dominance. Third match of the night, Antonio Cesaro versus Alberto Del Rio in a champion versus champion match. And this is a match where this shouldn't have ended the way it should have, but not in the way you think. So, let's see. Jack Swagger comes in and he attacks Ricardo Rodriguez, and then is like, he was already, crippled at this point with the broken ankle. And so, Alberto Del Rio comes out and is like, oh no, I gotta protect my friend. And then he goes out to protect his friend. And then he gets counted out. So Cesaro wins via count out. Even though I'm pretty sure it should have been disqualification. But it was count out. Excuse me. So, after the match, Del Rio takes revenge on Cesaro, who was pretty much gloating that he got a win off the world champion. I would too. But not for that long, though. Match number 4, Primetime Player versus Team Hell No. The millions of dollars versus whatever. Kane and Daniel Bryan win. Not much to say here. It was pretty much warm-up match for their tag team title match at WrestleMania. Next up, Triple H comes out. And I was prepared for a much longer promo, but he apparently doesn't care if his career is on the line or not, because his career is on the line every night anyway. He says he's going to kick Lesnar's ass, and that's what he's going to do. Triple H starts to leave, while Wade Barrett comes out for his match, and gets kicked in the nuts for it, because you're not going to upstage Triple H. So, fifth match of the night, Wade Barrett versus The Miz. Barrett gets hung up and eventually taps to the figure 4. So at WrestleMania, it will be The Miz versus Wade Barrett for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Which is actually amazing. We go backstage with Team Hell No, and Kaylin's there too, and then they get into a little discussion. Blah, blah, blah. AJ's crazy, and AJ goes crazy. Go figure. Sixth match of the night. The Great Khali, Justin Gabriel, and Zack Ryder versus The Shield. Shield pulls out a victory because, hey, there are 3 jobbers in the ring versus the Shield. Then they beat up Khali and do a triple powerbomb. And the Hero Trio comes out, which is Big Show, Orton, and Sheamus. Come out. And then everybody fights. And then everybody leaves. Next up, we go backstage with Chris Jericho. And there's going to be Jericho versus Fandango at WrestleMania. So cards filling up pretty quickly now. Next up, the Rhodes Scholars versus Clay and Sweet Tea Tensai. And I didn't really pay much attention to this match either. Rhodes wins, whatever. We get another G.I. Joe promo. And then another match. Ryback versus the 3-man band. All of them at the same time. Well, not really at the same time. They got to tag in and out, but that's not the point. Basically, he's all like, well, Mark Henry beat up 2 people, so I'm going to beat up 3 people. So instead of 2 jobbers, he gets 3 jobbers. And that's exactly what they do. Except, in this match, the 3-man band pretty much looks strong for once in their little tenure as a triple jobber team. Ryback hits a double shell shock and wins. Main event time. I didn't know this was going to be the main event. It was AJ versus Caitlyn. Your main event, people. In a match where Caitlyn face plants into the barricade for a countout. AJ wins. And oh, by the way, AJ's going to get a title shot at WrestleMania. But hey, we're not done yet. Nope, we are not done yet. Because the final segment of the night is the Rock and Cena panel. Where legends ask Rock and John Cena about their WrestleMania match. So the panel consists of Booker T, Mick Foley, Dusty Rhodes, and Bret the Hitman Hart. And the first question, John Cena talks football. Well, The Rock refutes the entire failure remark that John Cena has been saying this entire time, and what we have been saying the entire time, that The Rock has failed at several things to get to where he is today. John Cena also gets frustrated at all these questions, saying that he needs to beat The Rock. That he needs to beat The Rock. And why is that? Because he says that he is better than The Rock. He says he wants to dominate The Rock at WrestleMania. No question about it. Rock comes back and says, well, prove me wrong. And then Rock bottoms John Cena. Now people are speculating once again, is this going to be part of John Cena's heel turn? I don't think so. Still. Even though John Cena finally gets a little bit of attitude in his tone, it's pretty much up against the wall. The ultimate underdog. Once again, John Cena has overcome the odds and faced The Rock at WrestleMania. So, WrestleMania is pretty much stacked at this point. Not only are we seeing the world titles being defended, we are also seeing the Intercontinental title, the tag team titles, and the Women's Divas Championship. Which is pretty much what WrestleMania should be about. Should be about titles and, fights and all that good stuff. Like I said before, I'm surprised that the tag team titles are actually being defended for something like 4 years. The IC Championship hasn't been defended in, I don't know, even longer. I don't remember the last time it was defended. But yeah, it's been a very long time. And the Diva/Women's title hasn't been defended on WrestleMania since, I don't know, WrestleMania 23 or 22, I guess. I don't know. I would have to look up the records or something like that. Because they've been doing all those pillow fights and crap like that. So people are pretty much saying that this WrestleMania might go down as the worst one of all time because WWE is not really putting things together correctly or whatever. But I don't think that it's going to be as bad as 27 was, because 27 was a pretty bad WrestleMania. But I think that all these title matches are going to surprise people. We don't have to deal with a celebrity match at all. At all. The main event match for the WWE title match is actually on last this time. Even though it's painfully clear who's going to win. And it's going to be John Cena. Spoiler alert. But I'm actually excited for this WrestleMania because more titles are going to be on the line, even though we're going to have a throwaway match with Chris Jericho and Fandango. Other than that, it's pretty much being stacked. We have a SmackDown. SmackDown has this coming week, Friday. There's going to be a weightlifting competition between Mark Henry and Ryback, and WWE again decided to spoil SmackDown. Thanks, guys. Well, I'm not going to get into that because we'll get into that next week. But we're not done yet. So next week, we have a SmackDown and another Raw, the last Raw until WrestleMania. And then after that show, we'll have the biggest show of the year, definitely. I don't know how long we're gonna go. Hopefully, we'll go longer than 1 hour. We'll see. That will include the final SmackDown to WrestleMania, WrestleMania itself, and the day after WrestleMania, which is, the biggest. WrestleMania and the Raw after WrestleMania are pretty much the two biggest shows of the year, and we are going to be covering them. And we will also be talking about how this year's WrestleMania stacks up against, historically, up against the recent ones. Who wins? Who loses? Who turns face, heel? I don't know. Will Kofi Kingston even get a personality? Who knows? But what I do know is that next week we'll be doing another episode here on the road to WrestleMania. We're almost over, guys. We're almost done. It's a sprint on the road to WrestleMania. And we'll catch you next week on the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast. Oh, boy.